Hi everyone, so Blizzard has just released yet another video in preparation of Season of the Construct, Diablo 4 Season 3, and there is a lot of really juicy stuff in there, including a lot of info about the Seneschal Companions. I already talked a lot about them in my previous video when we had the first impressions of the patch and the new theme in this blog post here, but there is this video. I took a lot of screenshots here and started preparing this Season 3 info sheet of mine that is linked in the description, so go check it out. If you want to read up on all of this, what I've put together here already, I'd basically try to get as much information as possible for those pets and the vault and etc. So everything that is to know, I want to have this all in this one document here, and then anyone can just bookmark that and use it for the entire season. But yeah, some of those new preview skills for those pets are pretty crazy, as the one you saw here in the intro. There's basically a Shaco for your pet now that can give you +4 skills when your pet does something. So this is one of those two uber unique tuning stones that you can find, the Evernight. So in the blog post, they actually didn't give us any information about them, just question marks. But those two are supposedly very, very rare, and you can probably only get them from like the highest difficulty boss or something. And they are extremely powerful, as you can see. So an effect like this is pretty crazy. But it's not just this one. There's a lot more pretty juicy stuff in there. So I try to put everything together here to get a good overview of what's there, what we can theory craft with. I also have like a list of all of the governing stones. These are the skills, and the tuning stones here, the support skills basically, that you can use to alter those effects. And well, a lot of them have already been confirmed. It also turns out they have different rarities. So there is rare and legendary, and then the unique ones. So it seems like those are called uber uniques, but it's basically just the two unique ones, and then the rest is rare or legendary. So we have this somewhere here in the screenshot. So this was not in a video. This was actually in a PC Gamer article where we could see this probably like a more updated version of the system, I guess, because in the video we didn't have any of those rarity colors. So I think there have been some changes since then. But here you can see that these are yellow, and these are, orange background like legendaries, and these are the unique ones. And here we also saw the Evernight. But some of these other effects are actually pretty powerful. For example, the resource support, which is a rare one. So I suppose you're going to get this quite early. And you can rank up those tuning stones. So here, for example, it says the player gains 8 primary resource when the supported skill first deals damage. So that is a ridiculously high number, I gotta say. I did not expect this thing to be that powerful, and I think this is gonna absolutely carry a lot of builds, similar to the Tibbot's Will Metamorphosis combo back in Season 2. And now it's even easier. You don't even have to do anything for it. You just have your pet passively filling up your resources, basically. And if you level this to level 10, it's gonna give you 14 primary resource before scaling up resource generation. So with 2 rolls and maybe a Shaco or so, you're probably gonna get like up to like 25 resource per hit of your pet. So it's gonna get really wild. And yeah, some of those attack skills, for example, are also here. So it says, this one says speed 2.0 seconds. So I assume this is just like the rate at which it uses it. So every 2 seconds it uses this skill. And for example here, there's also skills with cooldowns, like this legendary utility skill here, auto defense, that says speed 1.5 seconds. So maybe every time it uses this ability, it has like some kind of like delay before it can do anything else or something like that. I think this is probably how that works. And then it has a cooldown. So some of those skills have cooldowns, some of them don't. So I guess most of the attack skills don't have any cooldown. They just have like a certain attack speed. Like here, for example, is also focus fire. It says 3.0 seconds. So I assume every 3 seconds it will channel, and then it will, decide what to do next, either the next channel or a cooldown skill or something like that. So yeah, this is probably how that works. There was a bit of like a preview of these pets in action as well. So if we go forward here a little bit, these are like the mechanical enemies, and here's our pet. So this is the Seneschal Companion that you find during the quest line, and it can do all these kinds of abilities here that have also been previewed in a blog. So here, as you socket them in, you can have these 3 different supports and then 2 different abilities. And depending on what you slot in there, it can get really crazy. So this is, for example, the lightning bolt in action here with a multi-shot support. So see here, I can shoot up to 5 of those projectiles, maybe more. This might not be maxed out. We don't have any information here, but there are definitely some of those pretty crazy combos possible. And I've also heard that apparently those pets are really powerful and apparently intendedly so. So apparently the devs even said that they want them to be like very impactful and very strong. Here's another preview of the auto defense matrix. This is like one of these utility skills that destroys incoming projectiles as you stand in a circle. So you're completely protected from those crossbow shots and all that. So that seems really powerful as well as a defensive option, but something they probably acquire later. And here's, for example, this fire beam here in action. So it seems like this fire beam actually can like really be one of the most beneficial supporting skills, basically. If you combine this here with a bunch of, like a disarcing support, I guess, where it jumps to more targets, and then you can have 2 extra supports for like utility purposes, for example. This seems to have like a really good coverage, as you can see here. Basically everything on the screen is hit by this. So this is probably going to be like one of the main ways to apply certain like debuffs to enemies, and instead of like trying to deal damage. And then something like the lightning bolt or the tempest abilities, they might be more used for like actual damage output, or maybe even something like this bushwhack here, for example. So this might be like a single target cooldown ability to like burst down bosses. Then you have this focus fire. This is the one you just saw there, the fire. And you have stuff like tempest that gives like a debuff on a target that kind of deals damage over time, and then it becomes more and more intense. So this might be for the longer boss fights, for example. So there's definitely a lot of really cool stuff to play around with, and it looks like these are very impactful abilities. I think that, everyone who thinks that we're gonna be like very weak because the vampire powers drop out or something, I believe this is not going to be the case, honestly. Of course, we don't know the patch notes, we don't know the balance changes. We are gonna get nerfs to Hoda, we are gonna get nerfs to Ball Lightning, and potentially a bunch of other stuff as well. A lot of things is pretty overtuned right now. So of course it's gonna go down generally for the top builds, but at the same time you're gonna get these guys, and I think they're gonna be absolutely crazy. And we also had a bit of other confirmation on some of the mechanics. So for example, these companions actually scale 1-to-1 with your own stats and your damage buffs. So there was this X post here from Sean White, one of the developers on Diablo 4, who actually worked on this. He's also in this video, I believe. And last time in my video, I actually talked about this here, this little chain of comments, and I said there's going to be a follow-up. And he actually replied. So he said that if it's a raw stat increase or damage bonus effect on you, it will apply to the Seneschal. And that apparently includes even aspects and uniques like, Tibort's Will, or I don't know, maybe even Edgemaster's aspect and these kind of things. So it seems like everything that raises your actual like sheet attack power might increase the Seneschal's attack power, and that can be pretty wild. Especially I think for barbarians, that's gonna be crazy because they definitely have the overall like highest potential when it comes to attack power and the sheet damage, basically, because they have the most stats, they have the the most universal damage buffs as well, like berserking and damage while berserking and a bunch of these paragon nodes like that. And they can reach like hundreds of thousands of attack power, potentially like, boosting this thing through the roof. So I'm quite excited to see that at least. And yeah, this is basically what I put together so far. There is a bit more information in here as well, so you can go read up on this. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be working on this sheet over time, so there's going to be more stuff coming. I already started like working on vault information that I want to put together here, and then we're going to build this as we go, and we're going to have like a lot of stuff in there that is important to know for the season. So this is what I got to share here for now. I have all the links down in the description for this video, for this article, and for the sheet and so on. So go check them out if you like. Let me know what you think about it. Personally, I think it's looking actually really exciting, and I'm pumped to start theory crafting and actually playing with those guys. And the vault, I think, looks amazing as well. So maybe as a last little tidbit, they have also like shown this here with the traps, and this is how it actually looks in action. So you have like all these like new mechanical enemies, and you have these traps here that come out of the ground and shoot around, and there's like these flamethrowers and other like ground effects that you have to dodge here, like this one. So it sounds pretty cool, honestly. I'm kind of excited. Definitely reminds me of the Path of Exile Labyrinth, and I'm a big fan of that one. So yeah, it seems really cool, the concept of it, and the fact that you get more rewards for playing better, basically, and trying to dodge those different effects and all these traps. It seems really nice. So yeah, this is basically what you got here for now. We're gonna have the campfire tomorrow. I'm gonna be covering that live on stream, so tune in if you like. And of course, otherwise, I'm going to have a summary for you later. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.